Hello and good morning. Hope everyone's keeping well. So today I'm attempting to fit a tool locker onto the side of the SK. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a couple of years now, and I finally, a couple of months back, took the plunge and ordered one up. So we're going to try and fit that on this side today. I've already got a tool locker on the off side, but the amount of rubbish I carry inside there, it'd be nice to have one more, and then I could completely clear out the cab and have a nice completely empty cab and actually be able to make it nice and tidy inside. So that's my little job for today, and we'll see how we get on.
We've got 3 different lengths.
Right, okay, so far I've managed to sort out a couple of holes. So these are a couple of 14 or 16 mil holes, I can't remember exactly which now. I've got a rough idea of the direction I'm going in now. The only couple of slight issue I've got is this is a bit close to that, so I might have to just cut a little bit out of this. And the other issue I've got is this here. Let me put the torch down. This is the emergency airline that was mounted up on here. Unfortunately, that's completely in the way. So what I'm good. I was hoping I might have had enough length to have brought it around and bolt it on the side of the box, but I haven't. So just for the minute, I'm going to unbolt these pipes, push the pipes through out the way, and then I'll revisit that once I've got the strut in place and I can figure out exactly how. Because I might even just mount that up on the inside of the chassis leg, so if you needed to get air to it, you could drop it down to the inside. We'll see. Right, okay, we're very slowly creeping forward. I've managed to get the legs about a height that should give me the right height for the box now. I'm trying to get it about the same as the box on the far side, as well as the battery box. The tank is very high anyway, but I don't know too much about that. So I've had to mess around a little bit. This one's probably I had to re-drill the whole position in the end. I decided that was probably the safer bet than taking any material away, so that's given me the gap I wanted to away from the air dryer. I did leave that pipe in the end because with the other air pipes out of the way, that does actually fit better than it looks. So I'm going to start looking at, I'm probably going to zap the 2 top bolts up so they're roughly in the right place, and then we'll start seeing about putting the 2 legs out so I can see about fitting this box finally. Right, well, we're definitely creeping along in the right direction now. Got the height set. I've just been playing around these brackets. Got little corner brackets here. I think officially what you meant to do is have them on the inside and then put another brace up here to hold the box. I'm just trying to do something a bit different. I've cut a little earpiece out so I can put it on the inside. I just want to have a look how the box sits on it like that, just to try to keep the box as close to the chassis as I can. So just better slide the box in. It's still only on there loose really. Just going to slide the box in just to get a rough idea how it looks. I would expect I've got to cut these legs back, but that's not a problem. I'd much rather have too much than too little. So yeah, just better slide it and take a look at what it looks like. Right, so this is the first time I'll be able to get it loosely on there with nothing propping it underneath. I'm not too disappointed with that, I'm quite happy with that. So the spacing of the brackets, I've not got that perfect, but I'm not too concerned about that, because it means I've got a bit of space to play with. So yeah, so I'm not too bad at all with that, really. I think by the time I've manipulated it a bit more, I can get that sitting in okay. Not really meant to do what I'm thinking of doing. I'm half tempted to bolt the box directly onto the bracket. You're not actually meant to do that. You're meant to bolt it onto these brackets on the floor and then bolt those together separately. But I'm a bit concerned that I might be too wide. At the moment I'm just in from the tyre and just out actually from the battery box. So no, I'm quite happy with that so far. So I think I'm going to take the box off and see about getting another couple of bolts in the bottom of the bracket to hold it in place, and then go from there, I think. Yeah. Flattish. Nothing I'll do is perfect. Right, okay, so we're creeping along quite nicely. So I've taken the wrappers off so I could see exactly where I'm sitting. So I have adjusted this leg. So before I had it bolted onto here, but it was too far over this way. So I remeasured, because always the case, measure once, cut twice, and I've recycled this bolt here, this mounting point here, and it's actually almost spot on. I think it's ever so slightly too tight, but that's okay, it fits in. So the next little job will be to trim these back, and then I think we might be about ready to start look at getting the box actually mounted, and hopefully get it somewhere near square. Of course, it's always a wise idea to cut metal up by cardboard. That's never caused a problem. quite happy with that. Doesn't seem too bad. Let me show you what I'm trying to do. So let me come under here. So it's not the way they tell you in the instructions, but what I'm doing is I'm attempting to fit it directly straight onto the legs. So what I've done just for the seconds, I've dismantled the other leg, so I'll try and get the bolts to go through the whole lot as one big sandwich. So I'm pleasantly happy that I managed to get the first 2 bolts in. Fortunately this box doesn't weigh anything, so the next 2 holes seem to line up. So I'm going to do that, put those 2 in loosely, and then just start drilling some other holes. I'm just trying to get it to all fit in. Probably the most awkward one would be the one at the top, but I'm sure we'll figure something out. So yeah. Good. Let's cut the bolts in. Now this top bit I do have, so that top bit I do have in there, a piece of checker plate, but I asked them to pack it in loose so I could decide whether I actually wanted it on there or not. So yeah, virtually there. There's just a couple of tiny little bits I need to do to get the actual motor running again, because I've disconnected some air pipes down here which I need to sort out, and I'll be about there. This a bit more. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. Oops. That's better. Okay, we're actually about there now. I've found some old rubber matting laid over the back. So for better or for worse, I thought I'd cut some out and lay some in there, help stop stuff rattling around too much. Right, so now I've finally got my bottom bunk back, which I'm quite happy about. I do, however, desperately need to give this thing a good hoover out and even a bit of a polish up, to be honest. It's a bit of a tip, but it's certainly a big step forward to how it was. So finally got everything out that I wanted to get out, and you know what, it fitted in this perfectly. So that's my new little setup. So I've got all my stuff that I was trying to keep dry, fuel filter, spare alternator, a couple of bits of rubbish laid up in there, fan belts. I take my tool tray from the other tool locker, so that's more accessible now. Got ivies and a set of overalls, and that is about it for that. I'm really happy with that. So I can't remember if I actually said, but this is a Worrell Richards. Forgive me if I've completely butchered the name. It's a curse of being dyslexic. But yeah, so it's a Worrell Richards box, and I'm really happy with it. I need to give it a proper little clean up and polish up. Yeah, I may or may not put the checker plate on at a later date. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, and that is that really. I can see about dropping this back. And yeah. Right. I do apologise about the dim light in this barn. I am looking at ordering up some more lights that we can actually rig up so we can actually see what I'm doing a bit better. This is probably going to be the last video of the year. This from start to finish I've taken probably 3, maybe 4 weekends. I've been doing other stuff in between, but it's the age-old thing, having a young family and work and other commitments. So I need to give I do need to give the lorry overall a wash, a polish, hoover out, but that's probably going to be a springtime job because it's currently raining at the moment. Got a weather warning in place for heavy rain, so that's not going to be happening today. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Hope it was of interest. Hope you have a nice Christmas. Hope you have a good New Year, and I shall see you in the next one.